Hello, it's Alex and welcome to Hey Little Thrifter. Today I just wanted to have a bit of a look back on 2018 and a look forward to 2019. 2018 was the year that I really got into BookTube more seriously. Previously I had only really dipped my toe in the water and done some monthly reading wrap-ups, but at the beginning of the year I decided I wanted to put in some more effort and start doing more book related videos, and I'm really glad I did. I've really enjoyed how everything has panned out, and I did the BookTube newbie tag back in February of 2018, and since then just kind of that got the ball rolling and I just started adding more and more book related videos, and I've been really enjoying it and I definitely want to continue doing so. I've also met so many awesome people here, too many to mention, but I hope you know who you are, and yeah, I've just really enjoyed getting to know people better, interacting with a bunch of awesome people, and yeah, hopefully that will also continue. And also I've been really digging this like little horror corner of BookTube that I feel has grown, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just because I've got more involved in it, so I'm more aware of like who else is out there and who enjoys horror too. It's awesome that there are so many other people out there that love horror and want to talk about it. So for this video I also wanted to look back on my goals that I had at the beginning of the year, and I honestly didn't actually remember what they were. I had to go back and watch the video to see what the goals even were. Apparently I had been averaging about 3 books a month in 2017, and so I decided that if I could bump that up to 4 a month in 2018, that would be my goal for how many books I wanted to read, and that works out to be 48. And I haven't been keeping track of that, and now it's just fun to look back and see if I hit it or not, with like no real pressure. But I think so far we're coming up to the end of December now, and right now I think I've read 72 books, so yeah, definitely beat that vague goal of 48, so that's pretty cool. I think for next year I'm not going to bother with a specific number of books I want to read. I'm just gonna go in and read. I don't know, I don't know if like quantitative statistics are really something I want to focus much on. I think it's still interesting, and I always really find it interesting hearing other people talk about those kind of stats, but I don't know, it's just not something I am that interested in to do myself, if that makes any sense. Another goal that I had for this year was to be okay with DNFing books if I wasn't enjoying them. I always used to be the person that would have to read an entire book, even if I wasn't enjoying it, like just in case it got better and I was going to miss out on something. But this year I just thought, you know, life's too short, there are too many books to read, and if I'm not enjoying something then I'm not going to bother continuing with it. So there are a few books that I've generally given them about a third, and if they haven't hooked me in by that point then I'm not going to continue with them. I think this year so far there were 5 or 6 books that I decided to not finish, and I'm glad I did. There were definitely some other books that partway through I considered DNFing but continued anyway, and I kind of wish I hadn't bothered with those. So I think I need to trust my gut a bit more, and yeah, next year there may be more DNFs, or I might just be a bit more selective with my choices. We will see. One of the books I decided to DNF is the new annotated Dracula, edited by Leslie S. Klinger, and I started reading this at the beginning of the year, and I had grand plans to, you know, read part of it each month and have finished it by the end of the year, but needless to say I haven't mentioned it anytime recently, so I think I only got about like a fifth of the way through and I just wasn't drawn to pick it up, and it's pretty long, so I just decided to not bother. I've read Dracula before and really enjoyed it, and I thought it would be interesting to reread it and have this extra information to go alongside it, but I just found a lot of the details weren't very interesting, unfortunately. It did get to feel like reading a textbook quite quickly, and I just wasn't enjoying it. And another goal I had was to read more books that I have on my shelves, which I think I have done somewhat. I haven't calculated how well I've done there, but I think my problem is that I have still accumulated a lot of books, and yeah, my book buying is definitely happening at a faster rate than my reading rate. So I have a lot of unread books, but I buy a lot at thrift stores and library book sales, and I just find it too hard to pass them up for such great prices when I know that I do want to read them at some point. And I also just really like having a collection. It's something that makes me happy, and you know, it could be worse, I think. So I think overall 2018 was a really good reading year for me, and it was also like my first proper year on BookTube. I reached 1,000 subscribers a while ago, which was really amazing, and yeah, I'm so thankful for all of you being here. I took part in a couple of readathons, which was really fun, and I hosted a Point Horror read along, which was really cool too. So looking forward to 2019, what would I like to do? Like I said, I'm not going to have a specific number of books I would like to read. I just want to keep reading, and I would like to read more from my shelves. I think that's the one that everyone says, but then we all get distracted by other shiny things. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I have really been enjoying reading some Point Horror books recently, so I would like to continue with that. Maybe reading one a month or every other month. I think that would be really fun. Some of them have been rereads for me, and some were ones that I hadn't read first time around. It's been really fun and nostalgic, and I would like to keep doing that and maybe do another Point Horror read along at some point. I definitely want to keep reading horror. I want to read the ones that I have on my shelves. I want to seek out more women horror authors. I also want to read more indie authors. That's something that I haven't done much of this year, but would really like to put in the effort to do so this coming year. I think one of the big things on BookTube is talking about new releases, and you know, it makes sense. There are obviously authors with new books out, they want to promote them, and people want to read new books as well, so it totally works. And there are definitely new releases that I am interested in, but I don't know, it's not my main interest, I have to say. I'm really enjoying kind of looking back. I think part of it is a bit nostalgic for me. Even if I didn't read these when I was younger, it just kind of feels like I'm reading the books I didn't get to read as a teenager, and there's just something about that that really makes me happy. So I definitely want to read more of the like paperbacks from hell type books. I find a lot of horror from the 70s, 80s and 90s at thrift stores and library book sales. I've accumulated quite a collection and I'm always looking for more, and yeah, that's kind of where my main interest lies at the moment. And I just want to be able to talk about some older books that maybe not everyone is talking about. I think there's still a lot of value in that. So the main thing is, this is where my interest lies at the moment, and I also think it's worthwhile to do so because I will hopefully be bringing some hidden gems to your attention. And I'm not ruling out new releases at all. There will definitely be some that I will want to read. But I feel like there are quite a few other people here on BookTube that talk about horror new releases, and that is obviously really valuable too. But I think it's good to have a mixture of books that we're talking about. So yeah, that ended up being a bit rambly, but I think you get the idea. I do also want to read some non-horror, and I do have a bunch of books on my shelves like modern classics, thrillers, some true crime and some literary fiction, so I would like to get to some of them before too long as well. I'm also considering rereading some books that I have read in the past and loved. I think I'm hesitant to do so because I just don't want them to not live up to my memory of it, but I don't know, we will see. I may or may not follow through with that goal. So I think that's about it. Those are just some kind of loose goals and ideas that I have for the coming year. I definitely want to keep reading, I want to keep making videos and chatting with you guys. It's been a really great year, booktube wise for me, and yeah, I just want that to continue. So yeah, thank you everyone for an awesome 2018 on booktube, and here's to 2019. Let me know if you have any goals for next year. I would love to hear about them. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video.